Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. Psalms 21 is generally regarded as a companion composition to Psalms 20, being the thanksgiving after the victory for which the preceding psalm was the supplication. It consists of three parts, part 1 being verses 1 to 7 with a direct thanksgiving to God offered by the people on behalf of the king. Part 2 being verses 8 to 12 with an address to the king, predicting for him future successes on the ground of his recent victory. And part 3 being verse 13, with a brief return to the direct praise of God in two short final sentences. The authorship of David to the chief musician of the temple meant for the worship that is found in the superscript is largely accepted, and we see no reason to dispute that. So if you have your Bible with you, you can turn to the book of Psalms, to Psalms 21. We're going to be reading from verses 1 to 13. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry, just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Psalms 21, beginning at verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. The king shall have joy in your strength, O Lord, and in your salvation how greatly shall he rejoice. You have given him his heart's desire, and have not withheld the request of his lips. For you meet him with the blessings of goodness. You set a crown of pure gold upon his head. He asked life from you, and you gave it to him, length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in your salvation. Honor and majesty you have placed upon him, for you have made him most blessed forever. You have made him exceedingly glad with your presence. For the king trusts in the Lord, and through the mercy of the Most High he shall not be moved. Your hand will find all your enemies. Your right hand will find those who hate you. You shall make them as a fiery oven in the time of your anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their offspring you shall destroy from the earth, and their descendants from among the sons of men. For they intended evil against you. They devised a plot which they are not able to perform. Therefore you will make them turn their back. You will make ready your arrows on your string towards their faces. Be exalted, O Lord, in your own strength. We will sing and praise your power. If Psalms 20 was praise to God before David went into battle, then as we said at the top, Psalms 21 can be seen as praise to God after David went into battle and was victorious through God. This should be a model for us. We can pray to God for our needs, our desires, and our helps, but do we thank the Lord for them when they come to pass? Do we even thank the Lord when they don't come to pass, willing to submit to his will and his time frame? It's very easy to pray that God do something for us, to then turn around and think that when that thing comes to pass, it was all us and our ingenuity. God deserves the praise before, during, and after something comes to pass, not just when we feel like it. The psalm begins by proclaiming that the king will continue being faithful to the Lord, that he will not become haughty and arrogant like King Saul did. David would have joy in the Lord's strength, and he would rejoice in the Lord's salvation. Now, someone might come along and say, well, yes, David would do all of these things. David had received everything one could possibly ask for. He had been blessed with goodness beyond belief, a pure crown of gold had been set on his head. He was saved from his enemies, even in dire times, and David was given glory, honor, and majesty. It is easy to trust in the Lord when the Lord does those things. My contention is, though, that it's harder to trust in the Lord during times of plenty than during times of turmoil. During times of plenty, it's much easier to become arrogant, to become complacent, to become entitled, and therefore to abandon God. It is times of struggle, though, where we're being humbled with our own limitations, where we're being humbled with our own faults, that we will remember who God is and what he has the power to do. Sure, in times of plenty, it may be easier to be happy with the Lord, but to trust in him, that certainly can be harder if we're not careful. For David, though, we've already covered some of the psalms he wrote in times of despair. He was not a fair-weather worshiper of God. He was the man after God's own heart. In good times and in bad, he recognized who was in charge. It was God. Who provided him salvation? Again, God. And therefore, who he should place his trust in? Again, God. David was always humbled by what God had done for him in spite of him not being among the great families in Israel. And because of David's faith and trust in God, Israel was confident that God would continue to be with him, that David would continue to defeat his enemies, destroying even their descendants from the earth because they performed evil against David. There are plenty of times in Israel's history where we could fault them for not having this type of faith. But in David's days, at least at this point in his reign, they did, and that should be commended. The Lord is therefore worthy to be exalted for who he is and what he has done, and songs of praise should be sung to him. One of the songs we sometimes sing in worship is called Glorify Thy Name. It is an extremely simple song that it is very simple to be sung because all three persons of the Godhead are simply proclaimed that we love God, we worship God, and we adore God, a God whose name is worthy to be glorified in all the earth. We sometimes think we have to say many words to express great thoughts. Psalms 21 ends with a simple, "Be exalted, O Lord, in your strength," a true statement of praise that God is deserving to have sung to him. In our daily lives, then, in all that we do, let our thoughts, our words, and our actions exalt the name of the Lord and glorify that name. With that, our time is up for today. We will be taking our 2-week autumn break and will return, the Lord willing, on Monday, October 6, 2025. When we return, we'll take up with Psalms 22, verses 1 to 11. We hope that you'll come back and join us in that discussion when we will continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time.
We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.